Greetings, project team. I'm here with a short screencast to justify the design choices I made for the infographic. The first principles I'll be discussing are proximity and alignment. Proximity is the grouping of like design elements together so that viewers perceive them as related. I use the principle of proximity in order to group the 4 bar graphs together because each of them is similar and that it compares men and women against one another. Visual hierarchy is the arrangement of elements in a way which implies hierarchical importance. I used hierarchy in order to make my line graph larger than all of the other elements below it. I felt that this was the most important data piece in illustrating the gender gap between men and women. This element is therefore the dominant one, and the ones below it are subdominant. Alignment means grouping the design elements so that they are arranged relative to a line. For the subdominant design elements, I used a center alignment, with individual pieces arranged to the left and right-hand side of this line. This allowed me to break these elements up visually. Horizontal alignment was used in the thesis text in order to differentiate it from titles and other text in the piece. And various vertical and edge alignments were used in order to space the text and give the graph space. The next design principle I'm going to talk about is closure. Closure is what happens when we look at a shape that is incomplete and fill in the negative space to perceive it as a whole. Closure was used in the icons for men and women where there is negative space between the head and body. Following this, similarity is when we see objects that are alike. Anomaly is when we alter one or more of these objects to draw attention to their differences. I applied this principle in changing the hue of blue used in male and female icons in the typograph. The next design principle I'm going to discuss is color theory. I used a monochromatic color scheme to achieve visual harmony, allowing the viewer to perceive the infographic as ordered. I adjusted the saturation of a basic blue color to get different shades. The background of each element shape was then alternated from light to dark blue, giving contrast. The text was alternated in the same fashion. Canva would not allow me to change more than one of the pie chart colors. So, technically, this shade of blue is not monochromatic. Lastly, I want to talk about fonts. 2 fonts were used in the side cast, EXO 2 Black and Faustina Semi Bold. The first font was used for titles, and the second font was used for the thesis and subtitles. I adjusted font size in order to help with the visual hierarchy. In closing, if you have any questions about my justifications, please shoot me an email and we can set up a time to chat. Thanks for watching.